Hello everyone, this is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horn, and I'm bringing you a video tonight titled, Always Monitor Her Level of Desire for You. Before we go any further, always know that my videos in the dating space, they're inspired by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Thank you to everyone who's been ordering. My book, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, will arrive to me shortly this week from the printer. So just be a little patient if you ordered your book. A lot of you have been ordering, and I'm so thankful. And I ordered enough copies to cover everyone's order. And everyone who hasn't ordered, you can feel safe to place your orders for either one of the books that I just showed on the screen. www.matthewchorne.com. Thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you to everyone who's been engaging with me. I've been enjoying this experience, and I have more content and more engagement to come to you very soon. But let's get right to it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Continue, but let's get right to it. Always monitor her level of desire for you. And my reasoning for making this video tonight is that many men are ending up on the wrong side of relationships, the wrong side of breakups, and the wrong side of divorces. And these things could have been avoided if the man simply understood what it was like to be desired, so he could recognize the lack of desire that's coming back to him from the woman. And you always want to monitor a woman's level of desire for you. And I say this because desire is the catalyst for the best quality of life and best quality of a relationship that you can have with a woman. There must be mutual desire for things to progress in a healthy way and take you to a healthy and meaningful destination within dating. The desire has to be matched. And a lot of times you start out with a woman and the desire is strong from her, and you desire her as well. And sometimes things happen where she loses attraction and she loses desire. And you must pay attention to that energy change, that energy shift within the relationship and the interaction. Because things can start off very strong. She can be all over you. She can offer herself to you, like I often said in my videos. She can show that she's very sexually attracted to you, and she's going to move in accordance with that. But sometimes things change. And that's just the natural course of dating. Sometimes it intensifies and sometimes things change. But the problem is when men move past that energy shift and that change in desire. That's where you end up suffering, because your heart is going deeper because you desire this woman, but yet and still her desire is waning. And you have to have an eye to recognize when the desire is mismatched. So you must always monitor a woman's level of desire for you in a relationship, in a marriage, or any other capacity that you're interacting with a woman. The best experience is when you two have a strong desire for one another, and you are able to both increase in desire for one another. That's the best experience, until the woman is just completely caught up in your rapture. She's designated you and identified you as the optimal man, and that no other man comes in comparison. And at that point, she's closed off to any other men, because she singularly identified you as her optimal man. That's when her desire has reached a level that you can really progress into something enjoyable and lasting with the woman. But the mistake that men make is that they push past the mismatch in desire. They push past when the woman clearly loses desire for him, and he tries to convince her, he tries to restore, and he tries to create a situation that is no longer there. When desire wanes from a woman to a man, it can never be restored. At that point, you just have to acknowledge the good times that you had. You have to acknowledge how alive you felt, when you were dealing with this woman and she really desired you. You have to acknowledge that she was a departure from your normal experience, because that is the woman that really makes a man feel alive, is when he wants her and she wants him the same way. That's what makes a man really come alive in the dating space. But you have to acknowledge when that season is over, when there's a mismatch in desire. And there's one telling way that you can truly understand when the desire has faded. Desire always looks for solutions to conflict. Desire always looks for solutions to conflict. Two human beings coming together and merging and meeting, they have decades of life experience and life existence before they met one another. So there's going to be inevitable clashes and conflicts when you are in the space of a new woman, because you all have those decades of life that pre-existed before you two encountered one another. Now, within that is the conflict is natural, but the catalyst to understand her level of desire for you is her willingness to work through the conflict. Desire always looks for solutions. And so you can be vibing with a woman. Things can be going great. You may have hit it off with her. You may have identified her as a departure from your normal experiences with women, which makes you desire her even more. But you must observe and you must recognize when a woman does not want to work through the trials and those tribulations and that conflict, that natural conflict that two human beings have when they've had decades of life before they've met one another. You have to recognize that. Desire is always looking for solutions. And if the woman is not a solution-oriented and minded person, when you two, meet those roadblocks and you bump heads, if she's not looking for solutions, then you have to let her go, because that is a reflection of her level of desire for you. And you only want to build something with a woman who has strong desire and attraction for you. And you don't want to lose sight of the fact that desire can show up strong and it can wane. And many men are trying to recapture something that's lost. But when that desire is no longer there, and that woman is looking for an exit clause and an exit aisle, when you two encounter adversity, then you have to let that woman go. You have to let that woman go. Because desire is always looking for solutions. And that's the number one catalyst that you will see, where you will understand that a woman truly desires you, is that she's not looking to run. And a lot of times I can recollect when I've been involved with a woman and we bumped heads and, maybe it didn't work out in the end, but when we were in it, we both acknowledged that we were pushing past our normal points of patience, meaning that we both saw things in each other that we normally would walk away from, but we had a desire to try to figure things out. And any conflict outside of betrayal can be worked through, or at least the desire can make you two come together and try to work through things, because compatibility is going to win. If you all are consistently bumping heads, you can desire someone, okay? And then if you all are consistently bumping heads, then that means that you two are incompatible. You're just not compatible. And compatibility is the absence of frequent conflict, meaning that the world looks similar to you both. So the person who is truly your person that you're supposed to work through things with and see where things can go and ultimately land in a healthy and lasting destination, that is the person that you're not having an overabundance of conflict with. An overabundance of conflict just means that you two are incompatible. And the desire can be there, but ultimately you must acknowledge that the compatibility isn't there and that you two are going to knock each other off course. And you two are a representation of a decreased quality of life if you stay in each other's space. It's okay to let that go. But keep in mind that desire made you two stick in there to try and figure things out, even if you couldn't. And that is what I want to get across tonight, is that you must always monitor her level of desire for you. And I'm trying to tell you that things can go smooth. There's a honeymoon period, but conflict will come. And you will understand the woman's level of desire for you through her willingness to work through conflict. Desire looks for solutions, not exit clauses and not exit aisles. And I've been in situations where things started off strong. The woman's draped all over me. We got right to it as soon as we met. She's telling people she met someone. And then as something happens where she's turned off. And that's okay. Because you're not it for every woman, you're just it for your woman. And I recognize the energy shift. And because of my desire, I confronted I think of instances where I've confronted women and they'll try to excuse it away. But see, when a woman doesn't desire you, once that energy shift and that change happens, then she can try to explain it away. But you're instinctive, you're picking up on it because you're not getting what you're giving. But she can try to explain it away. But what happens is that there's an immediate confirmation that she's not in it the same way that she was. Meaning that whatever behavior that you confronted her about, that she tried to explain away, it's going to recur, it's going to be quick, and it's going to have more fervor, which means that she's pulling away, even if she doesn't recognize it, but she recognizes it. She's just trying to bide her time to see how she really feels about you. But if you're instinctive and you know what it's like to be desired, you're immediately going to feel the mismatch in desire. And you need to confront it. If you care about the woman, if you're building something, she's a bit of a departure, confront her. Say, hey, what's going on? This is what I noticed. But if there's no resolution and the behavior gets worse, meaning that you feel the lack of desire intensifying, you have to go. And there's been many of women, I fire one warning shot and then we get in another situation and I see that lack of desire and I walk out of this space literally and figuratively and never say another word to them because I understand that I was willing to work through things, but she wasn't. And another telling sign of a woman's lack of desire for you is that when she is the one pulling back and she is the one who is exhibiting a less than level of desire for you and you are confronting her trying to figure out a solution. That should tell you everything right there. When you're being wronged, you're not receiving what you're giving and you try to confront her. That's a telling sign that the desire is mismatched right there. And that shows you everything you need to see. Because I can remember, a few instances and they were fast. Because the last thing I'll talk about is self-love. They were fast instances. As soon as I recognized that the desire was mismatched, that something changed, the energy shifted, I fired one warning shot. I said, hey, I noticed this, I noticed that. And like I said, the woman will explain it away, but then the follow-up is right after that. And And it's time to disengage when the wrong is being done to you and you're the only one looking for solutions. Because you're looking for solutions based on your level of desire for her. And if she is running away from you while you're looking for solutions and she's the one who's doing you wrong, you got to get out, man. You have to love yourself enough. And that's the last thing I'll say. I won't make this an extremely long video. You have to love yourself. And the only way to recognize a mismatch in desire is that the love that you have for yourself is greater than the love and the desire that you could have for any woman. If the love for a woman and the desire for a woman is greater than the love for yourself, then you've opened Pandora's box and she is going to run wild on you. It can't be that way. And this segues into another video I'll do, maybe coming up soon, just talking about the levels of love and falling in love and your compass and things like that. But I'll get to that the next video. But you must always have a solid compass, meaning you must love yourself so that you can recognize the lack of desire that's coming towards you. That's the opposite of the desire that you're displaying and giving to her. So understand that desire is going to dictate the quality of your relationship. And if it's going to be something lasting and healthy, the mutual desire must not just be present, it must grow at the same rate. And there can be no disconnect, meaning that the adversity that you two are going to face, there's a willingness, a mutual willingness to look for a solution. If you don't remember anything from this video, just remember that desire is always looking for solutions. When you're going through things and that woman withdraws herself and she says it's too hard, and this is, I'm not talking about betrayal, like you did something crazy, cheated on her, or put your hands on her. Like, I'm not talking about that crazy stuff. I'm talking about the normal things that two individuals with decades of life before they met one another will encounter. That's the conflict. And if the woman is not willing to work through the conflict with the same energy and fervor that you are, it is a mismatch in desire. Because desire is always looking for solutions. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach. Bring you a video tonight titled, "You Must Always Monitor Her Level of Desire for You." It's been brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Order your copies. Life-changing, groundbreaking, revolutionary books. Order your copies. There's much more. If you think these videos are valuable, there's much more in my books, I promise. And to everyone who's ordered, once again, your books are on the way. I'm just waiting on the printer to break me off so I can go ahead and get back to that post office and send everybody their copies. Just hang in there with me. They're on the way. Also, people who have been inquiring about me making custom videos on different topics, a donation of $50 to my Cash App or my PayPal that is in my video description will get you a custom video that will be on my page, Matthew C. Horne Dating. Leave your name and leave your issue that you want me to make the video on. And I will make that within 24 hours, I promise. And it will be up on my page, Matthew C. Horne Dating. If this video has been of value to you, if you notice your thought processes have been elevated as a result of having encountered my message tonight, don't forget to drop something in my donation information that's in the description. Help me to keep going as I continue to bring you this elevated content. If you know that you could benefit from coaching from someone like me, Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach, email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. Leave your name, your phone number, and the general issue that you're facing in the dating space. I will make an assessment. I'll take my time, make an assessment, and I'll reach out to you. And we will get on the road to the coaching that will bring you the optimal outcomes in the dating space. My Patreon is coming soon. By the end of the week, my Patreon will be up, and I'm going to be spitting some extra heavy game on my Patreon. So you all look out for that. I've enjoyed spending some time with you tonight. And just remember to love yourself enough to recognize the mismatches in desire. That's what it comes down to. Because you will end up on the wrong side of a breakup or a divorce if you engage in something that is a representation of a mismatch in desire. I'll see you soon.